Hello, this is Aya Nelly, your abundant life coach. Let us talk about being planted. Listen, I don't know where in the world you are watching this, but exactly a month ago from today, Texas, which is where I live, experienced this god-awful freeze, okay? Now, in most of the parts of the world that, are used to cold temperatures, it would have probably been just a blip, like not a big deal. But where I live, we had not experienced anything this bad in decades, and we were totally unprepared. And I had my winter garden still out, so I had broccoli and collard greens and lettuce and kale. Let's see, what else did I have? Asparagus, spinach, carrots. So I had all of these things growing in my garden. And we got below freezing, and not just went below freezing, we had ice like sitting on these plants for days. I think for about 3-4 days these plants were coated with ice. And so when everything thawed out, all the leaves on my plants were pretty much burnt. Okay, cacti were, basically cactus just has water in it, so it's just like they had been frozen, really. And I was so dismayed at the loss of all of my hard work. But I decided, you know what? Before I go into the garden to uproot everything, I'm just gonna give myself some weeks to grieve. And so I would walk past this garden with all these droopy heads and brown leaves and and I just talked to my plants and I said, I'm so sorry I couldn't protect you. Well, don't you know, yesterday I decided to go into the garden to actually start to clean up so I can start planting. It's spring, it's time to plant anew. And as I started to pull off the dead leaves, I realized that underneath quite a few of those leaves, I could see new growth shooting out of the stalks of these plants. Not all of them. I still lost about 70% of my plants, but about 30% of them survived. And you can see that new growth coming out. And I knew I was going to be taping this video for you all, and I was just thinking, wow, that sometimes happens with our dreams, where we set these goals and we work hard and we're planted, right? And we've fertilized and we've weeded and we've watered and they've had the sun and they're doing great. I mean, I had huge stalks of broccoli. Some I had harvested and some I was waiting to harvest. I was waiting for them to mature a little bit more. And then just like that, this cold snap came and took them out. At least it looked like it took them all out. But because some of them were planted and so well established, guess what? Yes, they took a hit, but then they came back. And all I've done now is go back and nurture them, put a little bit more fertilizer, get rid of the dead things, because then you can have pests that live in the dead things that cause more disease for the plant. And I am looking forward to a harvest from even these plants. So if your dreams or your goals have taken a hit lately, if it just seems like everything was going well, you did everything you were supposed to do, and then the rug was just pulled out from underneath your feet, like just from left field something came and everything has fallen to pieces, don't give up. Don't give up. Go back and check in that rubble. Look for the signs of life and build from that. And let me tell you what, even for the parts of my plants that died, guess what I'm doing with them? I put them in my compost bin because they still have something that they can return back to earth, and I'm going to get everything I can from those plants. Don't give up on your dreams. Don't give up on your goals, even when they look like they're dead. Because I tell you, if you don't give up, you can revive them and you can have exactly what you desire.